Hi, I'm Paul from pdhsports.
And I'm Ollie from pdhsports.
And today I'm doing a product review on the new Head Graphene Touch Radical Pro.
And the new Graphene Touch Speed Pro.
What do you think of the cosmetics?
I think on the Radical they're looking very good. New colours with the orange and the dark blue. Again with the Speed, sticking with the black and white. Both look very good. How's the Radical feel on first impressions?
3 10-gram weight racket, but it almost feels lighter. You know, swing weight feels lighter.
I couldn't agree more. Again, this racket, Head Speed Pro, coming in at 310 grams. But yet again, you feel as though you're waving a wand. It's beautiful to feel. The nice thing about the Speed Pro is your off-centered hits don't feel like off-centered hits, they still fly.
Just vibrating a little bit when I don't middle it.
There's a lot of spin potential coming from the Speed. I don't know how you felt about it when you've been hitting.
I think for me this one, it's that extra bit of power that I'm getting. It doesn't feel heavy in any way, this one.
I really agree, I'm loving the lack of vibration you're getting from this Speed.
I'm able to generate a bit more power, easier with this one on the serve. Feel it.
Tell instantly, between the two rackets on your half, you can certainly see a lot more power coming from the Radical serve. You can tell there's a lack of power coming from the Speed. I feel like I've got a lot more control over where it's going, but the generation of power is just not quite all there.
This one feels a bit heavier. Is it? They're the same weight, aren't they?
I do agree. Straight off the feel, you do feel as though the Radical's got a little bit less weight, but
I'll tell you what, I can, that's so much more, straight away you can feel the more control with this, can't you?
Yeah, and again, as you were saying, you got the increased power coming out the Radical. You see from that one, it's ripping it when you want to. The Radical feels like a really stable racket in your hand. At the net, you've got a lot of power coming out. You don't really have to introduce any of your power, it's nice.
I'm really able to hit through this one with a lot more confidence and not fear of it flying out the back.
The Radical, you can instantly feel that more open string pattern. You get a lot more power from the ball.
I think I prefer the Speed Pro. There's just so much more control with this one. If you want a bit more power, then that's the Radical's the better option, but I prefer.
I think the great thing is on both rackets, you can have the confidence to take big cuts of the ball from the baseline. I know you said you felt a little bit less confidence with the Radical, but for me, I'm feeling as though I can really take a rip at the ball when I need to.
You need to be quite strong to cope with the extra 310 weight though, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, although it doesn't necessarily feel like a 310, you still have to be able to generate your own power a little bit more to be able to actually feel your racket moving.
So I'm struggling for power with this one on my serve.
Although that first serve was a bit wayward, it was a lovely feel from the centre of the racket. Nice, I had the confidence to have a good whack at that second serve.
So the speed on the when I was serving, I just struggled to generate that extra bit of power.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, if I wasn't timing the ball bang in the middle, I didn't feel like I got the power on my serve. The Radical, I definitely, you know, had a lot more power on my serve.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, the speed won hands down. You just had so much more control over where I was placing the ball. Although I agree, you get more power from this radical. The speed for me won hands down because you just had ultimate control and spin over where I was putting the ball.
On my ground strokes, I was a lot more confident with the speed. I was able to go out as hard as I could, and very rarely did I feel that I was going to balloon the ball out of court. It felt nicer, I think, when I middled it as well than the radical. Towards the end, I was quite timid on my shots because I felt like I didn't have the control.
Definitely. I mean, again, I agree with you for me, the pros, just, you've got so much more control over your ground strokes. You can generate the power you need to without feeling scared of ballooning the ball out, whereas this radical, when you hit it out the middle, you didn't really have too much control over it. As nice as it was out the middle, it's like you just didn't have ultimate control. So for me, the speed was winning hands down yet again.
Volleys for me, they were both pretty similar because you know, with their graphene touch, the feel is quite sort of muted, and I felt like I had control on my volleys pretty well on both of them. So you know, they both got that sort of headlight and similar weights, haven't they? So I felt on my volleys they were quite similar.
For me, the radical felt like an easier racket to use when I was volleying, because it was a much more point and shoot racket. I felt like I had more control over where the ball was going. It was a lot crisper feel off the volley. Whereas the speed, I felt like I had a lot more touch, so I feel like I could hit my drop shots a little bit better and a bit more control over the depth. But in terms of overall winner for me, it's got to be the radical because it's such a solid hitter on the volleys.
So in conclusion then, obviously the Speed Pro is in your bag. Do you think you would be tempted to swap over to the Radical, or are you going to stick with the Speed Pro?
It's definitely up there. The Radical has unbelievable power for me, but the control that I get from the Speed Pro is unmatchable. So for me, I'm staying with the Speed Pro. For me, I think the Speed Pro also was probably a better option. So thanks, Ollie, for hitting with me today. It's the first tennis review we've done for a while. It was really useful to get on court with these rackets. Both these rackets are available at pdhsports. And if you like the review, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll post some more videos soon.